Sagrona everybody.
Oh God, Sagrona.
Welcome. We're here. A toast to all your health as we are back for ISP Live. It has been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, dude.
Oh man, but it's good. It's good to be
back.
It
is good.
I feel like live was always our sweet sauce because it was just chaos.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty chaotic on audio alone.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is about either being in person with you two guys or being able to see your face. But I'm about to go buck wild. I'm about to say some stupid shit because I'm staring at you. That's what
go off the deep end, but that's what we like. Yeah, of course. Hey, everybody, Nicky here, Clare there, Charlie absent
somewhere,
absent without a leave. And yeah, we're back. We're coming out of crazy weekend of Star Wars Celebration, one that my voice has still not recovered from, as I'm sure you can probably hear right now. But oh my God, what a celebration! It was wild. It was cool. It was adventurous. And yeah, it's what a time.
What a time.
But we'll jump into a little bit of that, but also, of course, the core of today's live is, of course, not another Imperial mining disaster. Our Andor show is back. It is alive after 2 years. Yes, Eli has seen the Instagram vids. It was something. It was, a lot of karaoke.
Wait to listen to the live show, man.
A lot of karaoke was had, and there were some surprising developments.
Oh boy!
but yeah, just Andor's back after 2 years. It is great to have it back. Lots to get into, and yeah, it's gonna be a cool little discussion, I hope. So if you have thoughts, questions, whatever, please throw them in the chat.
Please.
If you're watching later, shoot us a comment. Hit that like button, right? You guys know the deal. Come on.
Like and subscribe. Also join our Patreon. So little plug for what I do on this channel other than these live shows. I do reaction videos to every single episode of Andor. Look, I'm one person and I record and I edit them. So the third one, I need to do some editing on before it is suitable to put up on the YouTubes per the mouse. So 2 of them are out right now, but if you want to watch the full episode of Andor along with me, go become a patron on the Imperial Senate Podcast. You can do it at $3. $3 whole. And you can watch every single episode, all 12 of them that are coming out, in full length, along with me. And let me tell you, I had some reactions to this premiere. Yeah, I can't wait to unpack them because I've been sitting alone with them for a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, everybody, please go check that out. We got some cool stuff in 2025, I hope, continuing on Patreon.
Wow.
So yeah, there's that. And there we go. Eli, back and better than Andor.
Correct.
That is what it is. Andor is better than Andor. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, okay, we'll do a little celebration first.
Yeah, let's do it. There's a lot to unpack that I wasn't there for, so
I know
I need it.
It's a lot of holy shit, which also is funny because just to sort of feed into the Andor discussion, they were kind enough to show us the first episode of Celebration, which was.
You were in the room for it?
We were, yeah.
Cool.
And it was again, it was just like a cool one of those really unique experiences because it's like so often we watch these things at home on a TV alone or with whoever we live with who we're probably sick of that day anyway.
Or in my case, alone with a camera in front of me and lights.
Right.
On a screen that I'm looking at right now that I wish was bigger and comfier,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and not with the people we love who freak out over this shit.
Again, that's why those like screenings whenever they do them are just so amazing to be
incredible.
A part of and feel the energy and again we'll get into the details of the episodes and why it was a good time. But yeah, the Andor panel is great. It was like a lot of it was like surprisingly short. I like the Andor panel and the Mando and Grogu slash Starfighter panel were
Mhm.
actually both quite short. And I don't know what the specific reasons are. Maybe it's like there's just like not a whole lot. I think they had to also um like transcript it so that the
Oh, yeah.
because like there are a lot of panels where people are like
How'd
def
they handle that, by the way? They have like a opera level captioning up on the screen, or what do they have?
yeah, so basically there were captions on the screen, and I think in those situations where people were like definitely reading off a script, it had sort of been like
Hmm.
preloaded.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like we really have to sort of think about how lucky we were because you know to have so much of it in English in Japan, and then
Absolutely.
we saw the other side of it when the Visions panel was actually largely in Japanese,
Yeah.
which was awesome. And we got English subtitles, and man, were they behind! Like
Oh no.
they were like they were like way off. So it's almost like I hope it was it like in time for them when they had Japanese subtitles, but it's like I was like, oh, okay, they have more than earned this Japanese panel
Yeah.
because it's like if they had to deal with that all weekend,
Yeah.
and just sort of ride the vibes as we did in the Visions panel, then yeah, it was it was they earned that, and so yeah, the Andor panel was only like 25 minutes long. And then Diego's like, "How about we shut up and you guys
Oh,
watch the episode?" It's like,
okay. Wait a minute. I'm so glad that you said something because I was watching stuff online.
mhm.
And I felt like it cut to the Star Wars live stage very quick. I was like, we're like 30 minutes into this bitch.
Okay,
Like,
so they showed it on the like official live stream.
yes, yes, they did. Also, hi Bill. Hi buddy.
Hello.
But yeah, it's they showed it on the live stream, so I got a bunch of little sizzles of
Hmm,
stuff.
hmm.
I just remember being like, wow, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also that thing where it's like it's a few days out. Like,
Yeah,
what else are we gonna say?
right.
It's like so. I think it was really the indoor panel was really just a lot of like energy writing, which was awesome.
Honestly fair.
Um, and it was a lot of just like letting the cast feel the love. And
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk, he got like one of the
Oh,
longest applause like breaks I've ever seen at Celebration for a
which
person.
is so good because
Yeah.
I love him so much, and the fact that he had to like sit in the wings for how many years to wait for his chance to come
Hmm.
back to K2, and like knowing that Andor was coming back and that he wouldn't be in it for the first season, and just being
Right.
like, I'm waiting.
Because I think also he was supposed to be, and then it all got sort of
Hmm.
restructured, and then he
Yeah.
wasn't, and then it's like, okay, well, okay. So yeah, now he's back, and K2 is going to be awesome to see again,
Hmm.
and yeah, just that was a just interesting aspect of it. Just everybody was so like thrilled. It was a packed house. I mean, all the
Yeah.
main panels were packed house, but it's like, um, it was just so cool for them to get that. I think that's
Yeah.
again is what is like so
That's the
special about
best.
Celebration. Yeah.
Because like
Um,
as somebody like obviously we do a damn podcast about it, but like as somebody who rides this energy to get by on a
mhm,
daily basis
mhm,
in a lot of ways, we need a weird place where that can be expressed and in a way that is like we need a space in this world where we can express the feelings that Star Wars give us and dish them out to other people who may not have previously received them. That's the
yeah,
beauty of
yeah,
Star Wars Celebration is that like you literally just like this is everything to me. It gets me through all of the stuff. Please, thank you for being a part of it. Take this.
exactly,
Feel
exactly.
it. Understand that how important that is. What a feeling, man.
Yeah, and especially with Andor season two, like so much of it
Yeah.
was made, with the sort of cloud of the strikes,
Yeah.
and like I think it
Loomed
must be
heavy.
really gratifying for them. It's like it's that reminder of like, oh yeah, this is why. Like,
Yeah. Because previously, when we saw most of these people, they had not been in the Star War that people could see yet.
yeah, I'm trying to think like how many panels there have been. It's like I think they may have done one in London, but I don't think a whole lot of them were there. I'm not sure. So yeah, it's like
because that was also pre Andor season 1, right?
I think it was right after.
Right after. Okay.
But yeah, it was sort of right after, and so in being that, it was more of a like, hey, let's look back at what we just did kind of thing. Like it didn't have the like forward momentum of, oh yeah, this is coming out in a few days. So yeah, I mean that was cool, and it was just so fun to watch everybody. And at the sort of front left of the audience, they put all the like the one way outers.
Yes, the Narkina 5 swim team.
Exactly, and seeing them was hilarious because they brought them all on stage before the panel, and
hilarious.
Everybody had their like ducky floaties on, and there was a Darth Maul Narkina 5 prisoner.
Hilarious.
There was a baby at one point.
Honestly, and, the fact that became like our second Wilro Hood running of yes. I hope that more Star Wars television and movie programs provide us with that kind of material.
For sure, and it's also a lower
more stupid celebration jokes.
It's a lower maintenance Wilro Hood too.
Yeah, no wigs or facial hair required. No ice cream makers. Yeah, just put on your little jumpsuit.
It's very accessible for the fine folks who are flash mobbing out here.
For sure.
So yeah, I mean, that was the Andor panel. That was basically that.
Bill makes a good point.
Yes, it was. Let's jump right into that because that animation panel was something.
Were you in the room for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like there's like the two that I think the most about are the Ahsoka one and the animation one. Like I think they had the most like.
There's a lot to both of those.
Yeah, and it felt like the most sort of like genuinely emotional and like reflective and stuff, and yeah, like the animation one, it was so great to learn about just sort of it, like they structured it like past, present, future, and
yeah,
and it was so good because David Collins was hosting, always great,
the best.
And like they were just talking about sort of like what it was like to do these episodes. They talked about one of my favorite ones, which is landing on Point Rain.
So good.
It's so good, and they talked about how it was an absolute disaster to make, and like because George like apparently watched like the first like reel of it, and was like, and like just basically like they had to take it all apart, and he like sat them down and they watched like World War II combat footage and of cool. Aerial battles, and Dave was like, we essentially stitched together the episode using just like archival footage, and then cool. And like mixing
that's so in like TIE fighter attack scene in The New Hope.
Exactly.
That's so Star Wars bones.
And it's like it's that and it's like, I mean, they put in like the bits and pieces they had, and then Dave was like, and then I just wrote to that because it's like there's not a whole lot of dialogue in that episode because it's like oh yeah, Star Wars is doing like several different kind of battles at once. It's like it's an airborne invasion, it's like D-Day, it's like it's all these things going on, and so just sort of to build it up back up from the ground, that was amazing. Then we moved into the present, talked a little about Tales of the Underwear.
What did you see about Tales of the Underwear?
Okay. I'm going to try to like not lose it. They showed us the first episode.
No.
And you're going to lose it. Like
was it Ahsoka or Bane? Or not Ahsoka. Was it Ventress or Bane?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
It was Ventress.
Bitch.
It was Ventress. And let me tell you, I was crying within the first 30 seconds. Like
no.
They
you
Yeah. No,
No.
honestly, they do one of the coolest, like most insane things right off the bat.
Nikki, I cry if you like talk about certain
I know.
scenes in the Star
That's
Wars
why
stuff.
I'm preparing you. You're gonna lose it. Like you are going to absolutely lose it, and it is so. First of all, the animation is like, oh my god! Like there's one particular shot. There's one particular shot in this opening that is so like haunting and beautiful and crisp, and it's just like it's amazing. And then it goes to this like mythical like freaking third Pirates of the Caribbean level like mythical pulp. like it is insane. And that was just the like the prologue.
That's fine.
So I'm very, very, very excited for this
Cool.
to come out.
I'm very happy that you got to see it, and I'm very happy that it's coming out soon.
Yeah, it's imminent. It is about a week away or something.
Also, that's the take that it has been.
Yeah, it's just it's unreal what they're able to do, and it's like yeah, it's a great episode. There's so much in it, and
that whole arc though, you got more of an arc to go, man.
I know, right? Like that's 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6. And
that's
so
crazy.
it's like for all that, it was incredible. Again, just another like beautiful thing to be in a room able to watch it with people. And it's so funny when like the lights come up and like and Dave's just sitting on the stage and Athena Portillo's on the stage and they're just like, yeah, we know.
Yeah. Like we knew you'd all lose your minds. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's so good.
We did that.
And then we move into the future. Oh, actually, one more thing. Going to the past really quick. I was sort of surprised to learn that, or Dave actually first got really emotional. Like I thought he was gonna cry, because he was talking about like working with George and stuff, and like trying to always keep that in mind of like what George would like.
He was emotional this celebration, wasn't he?
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Him and Ray, like the George stuff and the Ray Stevenson stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It was a big celebration for like, how like last episode we did a whole thing about the Kathleen Kennedy interview.
Yeah.
And how she was just kind of like the clapback, right? Like the whole actually no kind of thing. There was a lot of that at this celebration, and it was really like quite satisfying. Like it was Dave sort of like making fun of the we just play with our action figures narrative, and then like Rosario essentially explaining Ahsoka to people who complained about her. and then like Ahmed Best even was like, everybody's like complaining about this and that. It's like, and just again like setting the record straight on things and owning the narrative. Like it's very like nice to see that. But yeah, in this thing that Dave was talking about, he talked about how like the Bad Batch as a series was George's idea. And so it's like it's one of those things where it's like just kind of I don't know if that was ever like talked about. Like obviously George sort of instigated the Bad Batch, but the idea of like actually spinning them off, it's
making it into its own separate
entity
was George's idea.
Yeah.
George.
So
thank you, sir.
There we go. And
good take.
It's nice to see these things still sort of like existing in the water, for the years to come, and hopefully that continues. Hopefully he still had some more things written down somewhere.
Come on, share your secrets.
But at least now moving to the future, they didn't tell anything about what we were about to see. There had been rumors for a long time that the next big series was Maul / Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like, I kind of knew this was coming, but I think I was really like surprised at what the actual like heart of the trailer was.
Yeah. Okay. Can we talk about some of that trailer
For
right
sure,
here?
yeah.
This is a podcast. I guess I can talk about whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
Um, Red Twillick and him taking on apparently a new apprentice. What did you get out of this panel and this trailer? Truly.
I mean, they didn't spend any time really talking about this.
Ah, bitches.
Um, which also, oh, actually,
Fair.
maybe I
Rude.
shouldn't. I won't say this on camera. I'll tell you after. It's not a big deal, but it's just something like internal with Disney about it. And so anyway, they didn't say a whole lot, and they just kind of showed it. Um, Sam came out, or we got the logo, which is epic, and then sort of the red lights, and then Sam pulled his Ian
Yes.
McDermott, and he was like, "Play it again," and then
Yes.
so we watched it again, so like yeah, it was just such a just fun experience, and again the animation they've done just another level on top. It's gonna like it's still that sort of like Clone Wars
Mhm.
sculpt, but there was like a graininess to it. I don't know if that's like just the trailer or like that's the intention for the whole series,
It's
but
interesting.
it looked there was like a really interesting textures like on the shot, and so that was really cool. And yeah, as Eli says, it's like Maul is the protagonist. It's
Wild.
the villain series. So and
Love.
like yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you haven't seen it, there are ways to see it, but
I've seen.
yeah, there's so many like
Was it
cool
was it
shots.
grainy because that's the way they designed it, or because somebody's cell phone? What that's how I feel about
Right. Yeah.
the way I saw it.
We're still guessing on that, but
Yeah.
but yeah, like there's just so many shots. It's like oh, Star Wars watched lots of gangster movies and then was like, okay,
Yeah,
let's
which is cool.
roll it. But yeah, then even outside of that, as you say with the Twi'lek girl, just this whole angle of again sort of an apprentice, and I think somebody asked Sam Witwer if it was Darth Talon.
Darth Talon.
Yeah, and he was like, "Man," which I take that as it's not Darth Talon, but like I think they are
Inspired
obviously
by it.
inspired. Yeah,
Yeah.
like obviously,
Like obviously, the tattoos have not shown up.
right.
But
It's
all
like,
you need is a tattoo gun. So
Maul's
inspired by
might
it.
be good at
Clearly.
it.
Yeah. It's a
Or
red
they can go
Twillick.
to Port Borgo or whatever in Skeleton Crew to have that homie do it.
Little stick and poke.
Yep. But yeah, again, it's like there's not a whole lot to have like gotten out of the panel for the Maul show.
Right.
They didn't spend a whole lot of time on it, but yeah, just so many cool images and just ideas, and I think it's like it's a series that I think has a lot of potential to grow into different things.
Yeah.
Because if it eventually does, it's too soon to be the Crimson Dawn show, I think.
Yeah. I don't think I mean, I don't know. I saw
Yeah.
cell phone camera footage
Right.
from nobody I know. Disney, just so you know. And yeah, I don't think that we're at the timeline, that point in the timeline.
Yeah, I think same way we said it's like a year after Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
So it's still like very much the building. But again, it's like imagine if we eventually get to the point where it's Maul making the phone call to Kira, like up from his side of the camera.
Crazy.
and we get to have all that stuff. And so that's a really exciting thing. I'm again just
give
so
me
excited.
all the seasons.
So excited for another like flagship animated show.
Me too, man.
It's like Batch didn't end that long ago, but it feels like it's been forever.
It does feel like it's been forever. And also like Star Wars animation has been arguably some of the best Star Wars storytelling in the Star Wars television era.
For sure.
And it just, I miss it when it's gone.
Yeah, and it's
just miss
something
it
too where it's like it's still like actually kind of far away. It's not coming out till next year. So yeah,
but we got Tales of the Underwear coming soon, so
Tales of the Underwear
for a minute.
Imminent. Like
yeah,
you end this live stream and go have a long nap, and it's almost here.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
You're
So,
gonna need it, buddy.
yeah, you're telling me. But yeah, I mean, this mall show I think is going to be really exciting. It's really
Crazy.
cool for Sam Witwer to have a sort of be the point on
Yeah.
a big project. So
He
excited for
deserves it,
him.
man.
He's a long time giver to the
Yeah.
Star Wars fandom. So
Very devoted.
so yeah, good for him. We have a funny Sam Witwer story actually. Where, it was the night zero of Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were just like poking around the convention area because we wanted. Basically, it's very different. It was very different there to how things were in certainly the U.S. and London,
Mm-hmm.
where it was like there was no central bar to hang out at,
Mm.
or there was maybe one, but it wasn't at the hotel. Like the hotels kind of shut early for that. They were kind of small. Like it just wasn't built for that. So when we were at night zero, we were kind of like, "Hey, where's the party at? Where's the party?"
Yeah.
And we eventually like stumbled into the hotel where I guess most of like the Lucasfilm staff and guests were.
Oh.
And so and this lobby is dead quiet. Like there's nothing going on. It's only like 11 p.m. maybe. But we get in, and further down is Kelly Knox and Phil Shostak.
The sweetest. Phil.
The Phil.
Phil.
I finally got to meet the Phil.
Dude, I haven't met the Phil.
He's a delight. He's a delightful human.
If he's anything like his online presence, like I see Phil does anything, and then I just get like little warm fuzzies inside. I love Phil. I can't wait to get Phil's book, man.
And
Art of Andor.
Phil's always cooking the best stuff. And
he is cooking the best stuff, and he's a monkey lizard like enthusiast. That's my guy. That's my guy. He sticks up for the little weirdos.
He's a real one. We got to talk to him. It was awesome. We were just sort of like hanging out in the lobby and like near the checkout, and then check-in, sorry. And then sort of at some point, David Collins and Sam Witwer roll in, and they had just come from the airport, and so then we were just like talking in a circle, and they were clearly like exhausted.
Yeah.
But David Collins ended up coming over to our little circle, and we were just sort of like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Blah blah. And then he was like kind of glazed over in the eyes, but still sort of like hanging. And then Sam came over, and Sam was also glazed over in the eyes, and he had a panel to host the next day. So they're all like, whatever, and it's like it's time to collapse.
Yeah.
And then Scotty J. Rowe is like in our group, and in not a weird way. Like, let me preface. We'll say this: it was not a like weird, stupid way or like inconsiderate. It was just we were just talking, and Scotty's like talking about this store where you can buy used like Nintendo systems. and David Collins is like, "Oh, nice." And Sam Witwer just got this glazed look on his face. And he's like, "What's going on?"
He's like, "Please just shut the fuck up so I can go to sleep."
Epic look of what is going on. And so that was kind of like the funny early trip story. There was just a lot of like random encounters that happened along that night. So we got to see Sam before his big day. And they were tired. But it was just it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait for that show.
There's so much.
Yeah, just trying to like now it's like speed run through everything. It's like Mando and Grogu, awesome. Trailer footage, awesome.
Definitely did not see anybody else's cell phone footage of that trailer either, so
no.
Definitely didn't watch any of that.
Sigourney Weaver.
Oh,
in a pilot,
yes.
In a pilot jumpsuit.
Oh.
I don't know what else to say. You don't feel alive looking at that.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Wrong fandom for you.
Need to be rebooted.
Then the Starfighter stuff was cool. Mm-hmm. Again, nothing to say. Just the fact that Sean Levy is like the ultimate company hype man. Like,
he's a great hype man.
He is if you need somebody to just come in and like wrangle a thing,
yeah,
like he's got it.
Also, for all the people giving Ryan Gosling hate on the internet, he just flew out. His
mhm.
life is backwards and opposite. It's not, I don't think that he's not enthusiastic about Star Wars. I think he was jet lagged, and I think that he was genuinely stunned by the Star Wars Celebration
Yeah,
crowd
and also it's like
because it's crazy to
it's
not
also
expect that and to
yeah
walk in, and
for
also to
sure.
be such a mega star on his level. I think there's a difference between walking in a place where people are cheering for you and all the other celebrities that are walking by on
Hmm.
your red carpet, as opposed to the Star Wars Celebration. Um, I feel like you can be in a space or like at the Oscars performing I'm Just Ken, you can be out there and like have a different audience.
That's his
The Star
job,
Wars
also. Like
yes.
that's performing
That's
Ryan,
yes.
right? Like
The
we don't.
difference is we want to see Ryan and this the actual there's like a mythos to what Star Wars is,
Mhm.
and that feeling is not the same as being in the room for a panel of Star Wars
Right.
Celebration when shit's getting announced. That's not the
Exactly.
same.
Yeah. And
He's probably never experienced that in a room that he's walked into for anything ever.
yeah, like it's really hard to
Ever.
think. It's really hard to
It's
think like what
what other
he
moment
would
would be like
be.
that?
Well, yeah,
Maybe
and it's
Comic-Con, but
also
even then not everybody's there just for Star Wars,
right, right,
you know?
and it's also that thing of like some people are just reserved in person.
Yeah.
Like
He's jet
it's
lagged
like
and
maybe
he's
that's
reserved.
also it. Like
And it's
again,
okay
I
also to be
wouldn't.
overwhelmed by like, oh God, I have to do this movie now and this is who I have to make it for.
Yeah,
I can't let them down is a lot of
there's a
pressure.
lot. There's a lot going on in there. Again, like you
Yeah.
say, like, I think primarily, yeah, like he was flown in for a day. Like,
A day. He's
like,
an night is day, day is night.
yeah,
He's not.
like, well,
It's 8 p.m. at 10 a.m.
yeah,
when that
exactly,
for panel started. It's 8 p.m. my time, Central Time,
right.
you
Oh
know.
yeah, it was. It's yeah, do the opposite time of day,
And just have to
and
like
then
function
and
at
then
that
move some
time.
hours around. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah, it just give the guy a break. I was like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
Like, also, it's that thing of like, there's nothing really to react to because
No.
I
There's
was
no
in
trailer,
the
no nothing, no just
um yeah, like I was in the Force Awakens panel in 15,
mhm.
and there was kind of like awkward silence because we didn't know these people yet.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, and not to say like, oh, everybody's like super familiar with Ryan Gosling because they're probably not. Like,
Mhm.
people haven't maybe seen all his movies or whatever, and so it's like, oh, cool, Ryan Gosling, woo, yay, cool. And I like, yeah, it was like a little similar in Force Awakens where it's like we don't quite know who we don't even really know who they're playing. Like we
Yeah.
had the
We have no
Thanksgiving
information
teaser.
other than you're here.
Exactly. I don't think we had character names until like that celebration
Yeah.
almost. So like, so anyway, yeah, it's why give him a hard time? Come on. Like, and also,
They
let me
haven't
just
filmed it
say,
yet.
let me fucking say, when they did the title announcement,
Yeah.
I,
You
I,
lost your fucking mind?
I vaulted from my seat. Like,
I know it.
because
That's for you.
we were at the front of a section, so I had runway to jump into. And, oh my god, yeah, like I lost it. It was such a weekend
This was your
for
weekend.
for Starfighter pilot vibes and
Yeah.
aesthetic. It was such a weekend.
That was for you. Like
Yeah.
that when Starfighter announced, I was like, "Oh, this is Nicky shit." And then seeing everybody trying out like the pod racing game,
Yep.
I was like, "Oh, also Nicky shit."
And Sigourney, of course, in the flight
And
suit.
Sigourney,
Then
Nicky
Cassian
shit.
in the test pilot suit, and it was just like, man, we're going here.
Pilot
Yeah,
Renaissance.
so we were having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, then I'm trying to think the other big ones. We will get to Andor, promise.
I
But
promise. Yes.
Ahsoka, amazing
Oh,
again. Hayden Christensen on stage,
oh,
confirming more season 2 of
daddy.
him. Wild rumors for who else is potentially included in season 2, but maybe that's for another episode.
Maybe that's for another day. Stay
And
tuned for the next episode of the
yeah,
Imperial
and
Senate Podcast.
then the trailer we got for Ahsoka season 2 is already a Yeah, Akbar versus Thrawn.
So
Amazing. Yeah, I'm talking about
wild, man.
making
That's so crazy.
the new mask with Neil Scanlon for Akbar because
Mhm.
man's got some shit to do.
Yeah.
And so that's gonna be awesome. And yeah, the trailer that they made for this panel is already like a top tier celebration moment. It was, I don't know, I haven't seen a replay online. I'm sure it's all there.
I've not seen it.
Yeah. But basically, Dave was like, we film next week, so we have nothing to show you. But I couldn't like leave with nothing, right? So so we talked over it, and we decided to do a like, or he's like, I remember when they wanted to do a trailer for Empire Strikes Back, and they hadn't done anything. So how did they do that? So they went back and looked at that, and then they modeled this Ahsoka season 2 trailer off that. So just using voiceover, concept art, and like past images,
so cool.
to sort of tease up season 2. And there's just some amazing stuff in there. There's Iman Ezra pulling on a flight suit. There's Chopper manning a 50 cal gun, ready to commit some more war crimes. There's giant robots. There's mythical stuff. Night Sisters. Enoch beating the shit out of somebody. Shin facing off with like General Grievous Hu Yang. Hu Yang's got like multiple arms with lightsabers. Yeah, it's gonna be dope. Oh, and they said Zeb's in it too. So
I'm so excited. Put Zeb in everything. Yeah. That is the model of this Star Wars celebration.
Shout out to that shot from the Mando panel of Zeb, Mando, and Grogu just
incredible.
Just walking down. But yeah, man, it was so cool. So cool. Then the Vision season 3 stuff looks incredible. Like much sauce. So much sauce on every single thing. And I don't know if they're gonna release that thing that they showed us, but there were shots in there that were incredible. So that actually is our savior for 2025. Once Andor was done, it was like, oh, we got a blank year.
We got a break, yeah.
Vision's in October, so we got
at least
something.
There's that.
Yeah. Because but that looked wild, and we're getting sequels to three of the stories. Oh my god!
And then the Visions Presents.
Yep, longer form. Which I think the idea is your like sequence of watching would be Ninth Jedi, then this season 3 episode of Ninth Jedi, and then this longer form thing. Cool. I think that's the idea, because I think there was a little confusion of like, is it the story of the Ninth Jedi just like ballooned out? But it appears to not be that. It appears to actually be like, this is sequence. And then again,
sequels,
yeah, sequel to my favorite, The Village Bride.
So good.
That's gonna be awesome. Ronan getting the sequel.
Yeah.
So much footage is so cool. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. And then it's celebration. Those are the big things, but so much of celebration is also so many little things that you can't even remember in the moment. But
it's the people, man.
Exactly.
It's the magic of
running into people, hanging out.
Nerd family reunion, man.
Yeah, it's always the best. And then boom, Los Angeles 27.
Wild, man. Thank God it's domestic. I'll go. I'll be there, man.
Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drive to Celebration. That's what I always wanted.
Crazy.
So yeah, I mean, and also what's interesting about that is it is specifically not Anaheim. It is specifically LA. Los Angeles. So
yeah,
I'm looking at LA Convention Center.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the Staples Center as the celebration stage. They better freaking do it.
That will be so good.
No QR codes. Everybody come in. So yeah, that'll be cool. Or is it the crypto? Or are they changing it right now? Are they changing it back to Staples Center? I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know.
But anyway, it's like all there in the convention center. So yeah, that's the vibe. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be cool to see so many people who weren't able to travel for the last two. Present company included, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And it's
It
gonna be 50
is,
years of
man.
Star Wars. Like,
That's
let's not
crazy.
forget that.
That panel, whatever that is, it's gonna be a trip, man.
Apparently, like, sort of conversation is about also tying in with the Lucas Museum,
Oh,
because that I
yeah.
think is hoping to open next year, and Expo Park is like not that far away from
Yeah.
LA Convention Center, so there may be some tie-in there. I think there was like discussion of some kind of event at the Chinese Theater
Oh.
for the, like the premiere.
Oh.
Um, so yeah, that's just cool. I don't know how any of that will work. I don't even know if that's the plan really, but like, um, just sort of seeing the Chinese theater like that for sort of like if they deck it out retro style
Yeah.
for that Star Wars premiere.
A Star Wars.
That'd be really cool. But yep, that's kind of probably as good of a celebration recap.
Yeah.
A nice short recap.
For sure.
And
But go listen to the live Star Wars Celebration episodes that just dropped today on the
exactly,
Imperial Senate Podcast feed for more in the
for
moment.
sure, the biannual sort of last night weirdo podcast. It is out there.
It is out there.
So yeah, go check that out for some guests, some live reactions, some good stuff.
Love
And of course, shout out to everybody who we ran into in Japan, and a lot of friends of the show, friends in real life.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys rock. But we do have a little bit of Andor to talk about, a little bit, a lot. So let's jump right into that.
Let's do it, man.
I'm gonna give my voice a break, so I'm gonna ask you first.
Absolutely.
Where do you want to start? Oh my god.
There's when you get 3 episodes of television in one night, not only am I exhausted because I have to edit these, but also where do you even fucking begin? As a fan of Star Wars, I'm so excited that we're doing full arcs of television in one sitting, also because now we live in a world where people do not have the patience to sit through and let a story be told. My thoughts in the first episode, goddamn, this Rebel Alliance better figure itself out because these little factions are awful and they're
Yeah.
going to kill each other before this thing can even assemble.
Right.
I think that if more of our girly pop friendos decided to take a couple red hot looking shots and dance on the dance floor to let our rage out, I think that that would be a good move. Fuck you guys for killing Brasso. That was... How dare you?
I expected people to start dropping.
Not this soon.
No, that one hurt though.
That one was not fun for me.
Yeah.
We'll go into everything,
Oh, one thing
like
though,
arcs of stuff. But...
apparently the Brasso actor was recently cast in House of the Dragon, so
oh yes,
we will get some Brasso love back in our lives.
I love the Game of Thrones to Star Wars and vice versa pipeline. It's so rich.
I think it's because it's the same casting director.
That makes a lot of sense.
I think it's Nina Gold.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So she's got that Rolodex, because I'm sure she still uses Rolodex.
Yeah.
And she's just flipping through that thing. It's like, oh, Burly Knight. Got him.
Burly Knight. Here he is.
But yeah.
Oh, and Cyril and Daedra.
Where do you even start with that?
I think I have a new toxic trait. I think my new toxic trait is that for some reason I ship that. I hate it.
It's pretty it's pretty delightfully heinous.
It's terrible.
And just with Cyril himself, it's like it's like that battle between fascist girlfriend and abusive mom.
Yes.
And he's just this
it's a pipeline that makes so much sense.
And he's this failure in the middle, lying on the bed. Oh man.
He needs mommy. He needs a strong woman in his life to tell him what to do and and put him in his place. And Mom was there for it, but Daedra has taken that place.
Oh, man. Yeah, she was incredible. And she was incredible in her scenes with Krennic as well.
You know how many times I've wanted to say that to a prospective mother-in-law of mine? Not my current mother-in-law, she's amazing, but
wink, wink.
no, I mean it. Amanda, you rock. You're great. But like in the past, being like, the amount of input you're going to get from us is exactly inverse to the amount of stress you apply to our lives.
Yeah.
You want to get any time from me?
Line. It's such a good line.
Unbelievable.
And Denise Goff just delivers everything so perfect. It's just like, it's that she just went peak, like he said pickles, like girlfriend. Like it's
yeah. He said no pickles.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Man.
Sorry guys, I got the hiccups still here. I'm gonna try and mute them, but
she's got that tight black outfit on.
Oh my god. And then when she puts the hanger, like holds the hanger of that shirt and the pants up to the mirror and then like tries the smile. Like, do you remember Scooby-Doo? the James Gunn live action Scooby-Doo?
I do, yeah.
Okay,
in some amounts I do, yeah.
In that moment, she reminded me of the people on Spooky Island who have already been possessed by the monsters, who are like, I'm trying to figure out, is this how you people? Like,
yeah,
that is what I felt. I was like, oh, she's not a human being.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. It's such like unnatural state for her to, and that's what's like so delightful about that whole little section where it's like
an alien trying to learn to be human.
Like everything is so unnatural about it.
Yes.
Even just from a I'm watching Star Wars perspective, like this is unnatural. Like to be
very unnatural.
To be watching like this Imperial like interrogator, torturer, like instigator of bad things. Yeah. Just kind of like chilling in her home, like listening to music, like
wild. Her weird like space opera.
Yeah, like,
having gray fondue or brown fondue,
whatever that is. Yeah.
Also, thank you so much to the Andor arc for providing a GIF of an actual person in Star Wars saying, "Mother, you're dripping." Thank you, Tony Gilroy did the Lord's work. That's gonna be used by me forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's
do it.
Let's go to the front of the episode, and we have Sinar, which is also very cool to see.
Crazy.
And this TIE Avenger is the thing sitting there, and we have this defector, and she's working with Cassian, and Cassian does that thing that we didn't see him do a whole lot of in season 1, where he becomes like the hype man.
Yeah.
And that was real. That's such a great like shift, and I think that's like the real gift of the way they've structured the season is when like we get to have a lot of imagination and like a lot of ownership over what happens in between weeks.
Yeah,
you know, like there's so much like fill in the blank. It's what I loved also about, again, speaking of it, the first season of House of the Dragon, where you take these time jumps and then you sort of get to piece together for yourself what happened, and sort of like you get to see how relationships have fractured, how they've shifted, how maybe they got better, maybe they got worse, like all these things happened. And like I think this is one of the like real gifts of doing this with Andor now, where it's like we're gonna have these breaks where we get to sort of put in our own heads like what really happened to all these people and why are they like this now, and this idea that now Cassian's just like pumped out missions to the point where like he now knows how to hype up a contact or whatever, which then, you know, is also sad knowing what he does to the guy in Rogue One at the beginning. Yeah. But like, yeah, it's that was such a good part, and again exactly, just gonna bring that up. Like you're coming home to yourself, you become more than your fear.
Yeah.
Like, that
And
was so
copy directly what he says to Jin in the fucking hangar, the welcome home.
yeah. I, which I will admit, like an exchange I never really quite got.
Now
Like
we
like
do.
they like which I always just assumed was part of like the production issues of Rogue One, where I feel like there's a lot of like different versions of a thing kind of
Yeah.
like mushed together. But again, this like stuff like that really does tie that in. So when you see people like Diego Luna talk about like you're gonna look at Rogue One differently with this,
Yeah.
I think
He's
that's a
right.
perfect example. Like, so yeah, and then it was just like we go from that, which is peak Star Warsy, to Cassian getting in the Avenger and immediately fucking it up. And my first reaction was, oh, okay, so this is what Andor's like when Tony Gilroy finally watches Star Wars. Because it's like, oh, okay,
He's
it's
seen it now.
it's
I
it's
see.
a lot more aspirational and funny.
Yeah.
And so that kind of like struck me first, which I think the comedy of specifically the first episode really stuck out.
So good.
And so that was great. And then even yeah, just the sort of
Perfect.
like the sort of the different like level of grandeur to what is going on. I mean,
Yeah.
when those missiles were flying and the
We're
guns on
flying
the
under
Avenger,
you shooting missiles at the little pod racing tunnel, and all of a sudden it's falling down and we're flying
exactly.
through.
Also
Mm.
the TIE advanced prototype that first showed up in Rebels, of
Mhm.
all glorious places, that the Inquisitors flew. Those were the TIEs chasing him. Like
Mm.
all those like cool little touches, and it's like, oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
I dig this. This is like again, like I've always felt season 2 would be the Andor I expected to
Yeah.
start with, and so I've always been looking forward to this, and yeah, that definitely didn't like let me down in any way. And then
Mm-mm.
yeah, so that was great. Then of course we get a Chandrila, which I guess
Ah,
now Barcelona is canon in Star Wars.
love it. No
And
notes.
yep, they just found a nice location. We're like,
We've already
sure,
had space. Italy's is Naboo,
exactly.
and
Yep.
now Barcelona
And now we have
is Chandrila.
Montserrat as the as Chandrila, which is
Hmm.
amazing. The home planet of Ben Solo, as we all know.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like starting off with a oneer for Mon Mothma's story is brilliant, and I think it again it's like what you achieve with those things whenever you do them. It's like it really just makes it feel like stage, right?
Yeah.
And I think her storyline is the perfect one to evoke that with.
Yeah.
And so it's like we do that. It's like heightened drama. We get to see the space a lot better. And then again, second Rebel shout out, a boy Erskine.
Woo!
I think I like actually applauded in the little auditorium when I heard, oh, so sorted out with Erskine or whatever. I was like, yeah! And
It's our
so
baby boy.
because it's funny because I'd watched Secret Cargo like not too long ago, and so I was like sort of fresh thinking about that. And I was like, oh yeah, homie. I wonder if they'll link homie into this.
That they
And
did.
sure enough, homie is here, which means
Homie's here.
homie will be involved when it's time to get the lady out. Um, and then yeah, Luthen showing up was a delightful surprise and always on the clock.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I guess just sort of
To
not
quote my buddy Chris Andor, Chris Ryan's, uh, and also our old friend Liability. Guys,
dude,
Chris Ryan's joke, not mine,
Tay
but
the cuck. Like
Tay the goat.
when that becoming again that idea of fill in the blank for the past year and coming back and being like, oh,
He
Tay fell
sucked.
apart. Um, that was such a great move,
Yeah.
and I guess yeah, like without having to like go episode by episode, is we'll just sort of like open it up in general. Um, how do you feel about where Mon starts this season 2?
I'm excited about it. It totally sets up the fact that this this foundation is growing. that the needs of it are growing and that things are it's very under the surface, ready to be exposed, all of this. Um, and it also exposes just how much nobody else in her fucking life has a clue.
Yeah.
And it just is so hard because we got a lot of it in season 1, but like to watch her have the knowledge and be brave enough to want to stand up and do something, but have everybody else in her life shut her out. When it comes to the rebellion, when it comes to her daughter's marriage, which she gives her the very brave option of, we don't have to do this. And she takes offense to it. When she's standing up and doing her absolute damn best, and at every turn, it's just not enough for certain people around her.
Hmm.
But things are coming to a damn head. So, girl, you take your shots, everybody,
Yeah.
and twirl to your disco ball DJ droid.
Right.
And because a storm's coming. Enjoy your shot skis while you can, Miss Ma'am.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like a few things that stuck out to me, you know, starting with her now, it feels like she's even more linked in with Luthen.
Yeah.
Which again makes you wonder what the past year's been like.
Yeah.
And also like you said, like it's the foundation is growing and thriving. Like
Yeah.
it's all good. And like that again is part of the Tay issue where it's like where he's like, everything's going so well. How come my life sucks? It's like kind of thing. And
I'm seeing none of this.
Yeah, and so it's like that was really interesting to me. And then I actually something I never had any idea would happen to me. I got really interested in Perrin. Like I he didn't have a glow up, but he got really interesting.
He did, because also like in season 1, I was like, wow, they just live separate lives now, don't they?
Yeah.
This man gets jealous.
Yeah.
This man has, and I love like the reign of the Empire. Is that the name of the new book that just came out that I totally
Mask of Fear.
Mask of
like
Fear.
A few titles to it.
There's like 19 titles to that movie. But like it was very interesting to like get their like a little more context on their relationship in book form. And then to see it on here is just like they thrive while their lives are very separate, they come together and work together really well. And when she can't do something, she sends him in order to smooth over with certain people whose personality fits better with them. I'm like, it's a very interesting partnership that they have.
I mean, like we see that in season 1 where it's sort of like he's like, oh, whose votes do you need? Kind of thing. And like as I've sort of like watched this arc over and over again, my favorite part of the whole arc of like all 3 episodes is the moment he clocks her on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And he sees her like having her crash out.
Yeah.
And
he knows.
It's really like interestingly acted because it's like we have this guy who is sort of like has gone most of this stuff oblivious, we could say, detached from everything, whatever. Like he's never really like tuned into anything. He's the parent. He's the hands-off parent. That's why Lita is chill with him. Yeah. And so it's like that moment when he sees her and he notices, and whether he figured something out or he just knows something or like whatever it is, the fact that he's like now aware of this, like I found that to be so interesting. And also his like impassioned, genuine speech about like the love of vibing. Like
the love of the vibes. Put it on my tombstone. Sagrona Tima.
Yeah, it was actually really good. Like, and it was really, it was like almost endearing. Though. It was almost endearing.
That's the other thing too about this whole Chandrillan wedding. I was like, oh my god, we're gonna see the Chandrillan wedding, yay! But then you sit there and you're like, it's amazing how disconnected from any sort of human emotion this wedding is.
Yeah.
This girl, she just wants to hold his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't hold her hand. It's so not romantic.
No.
And obviously their marriage, it was the same thing and it wasn't romantic but they seem to be a solid, I wouldn't say great partnership, but they seem to be solid partners in this world. But it's so funny to listen to dad make a wedding speech and have none of it be about love and have it all be about just fucking, make sure you're having a good time.
Yeah, literally, it's like
Doesn't matter.
you're gonna face a lot of shit.
Life
And
sucks. Let's party.
yeah, and so find the good stuff.
Yeah.
And like,
So interesting.
yeah, and it's like when you look at it as like that really is just that guy's life.
That's
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
it's like that's his whole outlook because that's what it is, and like that's what this
That's
system.
what he was given.
Yeah, that's what the system does to people. Where it's like we don't know what Perrin was like as a kid. Maybe he was a fun-loving little rascal, but like this whole thing of like the pressure of the society, the shitty traditions, the like all these things, like, and it just boiled this guy down to like, man, just have fun where you can, like, and like that's just who
and
he is.
It has nothing to do with, it wasn't have fun together. It wasn't find your partnership. It wasn't find your balance in life, find your comfort in each other. It was just go vibe. If you need to.
Enjoy a good meal. And
go then, have a drink.
Yeah, and then
chill.
You know, like we have Chris here with the first Mon Lita scene. And like that one with the other one as like these two
the pre-wedding
bookends.
One.
Yeah, the pre-wedding and the like
and the whole
you don't have to do this one. Like both of those together serve as this like it's just like the perfect encapsulation of that whole like just journey for these two characters. Where it's like like the point is like Mon knows she's forced her to do this and she's miserable. But then on the other side it's like Lita like just is not she got nothing from Mon.
Nothing.
Right? Like it's rough. It's really rough. And so
then,
well
like,
acted.
at the same time, Lita's getting attention from all of her friends and from all of these other people around it. It's a cool, amazing. She's getting this stuff that she's been craving from Mon through this experience too, totally. Mm-hmm. And then also at the same time, like, I still am pissed off at her for getting mad at Mon when she was like, "We don't have to do this today. We can leave. It'll be brave if you say no. I'm not ready. We'll do it later." And her cold ass reaction, I've been sitting on for so long. I'm like pissed at you, you ungrateful little shit. The gift that your mother just gave you. But also, like, the more that I think on it too, the more I realize that to Lita, that also means that Mon is telling her she's confessing regrets of her own marriage to her too. And you're just like, I get her being upset that the union that created her whole life is built on this thing that Mon is clearly showing she regrets. And of course she was a fucking child bride. Mm-hmm. It's not a good situation.
Yeah. And I also feel like Lita probably processes it as just another way Mon undercuts her.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because we know she does like these traditional things. Like, she's not necessarily against doing it. So it's like,
because look at her, she's trying to hold his hand.
Right.
She's like, I want to love this man.
Right.
That I'm told I'm supposed to marry.
Mm-hmm. And so when Mon is like, it would be really brave to do this. You don't have to do it. Yeah. And she's just
so you're saying it's not brave if I go through with it?
Yeah. Or like, you know, just another thing of like, oh, so now you're gonna tell me what to do again. Like, and it's just like, it's just complete rejection. It's their relationship has so little like standing on it, and so it's like it almost makes me wonder. I'm like, are we even gonna see Lita again? Because it's such a perfect shitty way to end that relationship. Like, it's so like it's perfect and awful, and that's why it's perfect, because everything about it is awful. Yeah. Like, even though Mom like clearly loves her child,
she loves her so much,
and it's just like, yeah, it's such a brutal, like, just this is where we are with this, and yeah, it was brilliant, and then Luthen dealing with Tay with Cinta is just like And that's another just amazing scene when he's like, would you have told me if I wasn't here? And then
Yeah.
he's like, no, we have to like cut this off. She's like, I don't know what you mean. And he's like, how nice for you. Oh my god, he is. Luthen is
to
so
be ignorant
wild.
of what's actually going
Luthen's
on.
brain must be a hellish place.
Awful. Dude, how about his spying is not subtle at all. Spying.
with the
really? Where are all of the troops being moved to? Could you tell me where the troops are being moved to? That's so interesting that they're moving you. Yeah. Buddy, calm down.
That's like Gilroy popped off a lot.
Yeah.
On things. And like that's such a clever piece of dialogue, like and character, just to have. It's like there's no like real attention placed on it. It's so casual, and like that's what's so good. That's why it just shows you why Luthen is who he is, and yeah, like just again so many little flourishes throughout that whole arc, and then the crash out is just like it's next level,
crazy,
and the fact that it's intercut with all the other shit going down, and it's just got that music, the Niamos wedding remix.
Shout out to Chris Swift in the chat because he also directed me to the Star Wars YouTube channel where there is full hour of Mon Mothma just vibing out to the music, and you want a full hour of that, you can go listen and watch that now. So
there's a track on the sound. Funnily enough, the track is called Brasso. On the soundtrack, so you can sort of get like the last chunk of it there. But yeah, I mean that is that I think the Chandrila stuff is like I think the real standout.
Yeah.
Kind of piece of the 3 arcs, but of course we do have other things. We have the Maya Pei brigade of fuck ups on on Yavin 4.
Y'all need to establish a chain of command before you go on a mission.
It's funny. I feel like Tony has a lot to say about infighting, like because I also like I just think of that season 1 line a lot now with the when he's talking, when Luthen and Saw are talking, he's like, aren't you tired of arguing with people who agree with you? Like I think like that was there, and now this is just that to ludicrous levels, and like all the way down to rock paper scissors, like
it's so true. It's so true.
And it's again, it's just like it, this is what happens when you have unserious people standing against, a brutal beast.
And literally like, Cassian's out here going, oh wait, I know what rebels you are. We work with you.
Yeah, we literally fund you.
I work with you. Yeah. We literally fund everything that. Yeah. Oh my god, this is what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah, and like I think there's like also another interesting thing of like, sort of within context placing where the movement is in that time, because when they're like, who are you with? Or he's like, who did you steal this TIE fighter for? And like he doesn't really have an answer.
Yeah.
And it's like I found that to be really fascinating too, because it's like on one side, yes, he's not going to tell them stuff, but then on the other side, it's like, what's he going to tell them?
Right.
It's not the rebellion yet. Like,
yeah.
And so it's still, we're still in this place of, people are just sort of scattered and shot and like not sure really what's going on. Like we don't know who that Avenger's supposed to go to.
Yeah.
Or for what purpose? Like, are they going to study it? Like, I don't know. And so
also, who's Porco? Why'd they kill him?
Dude, Porco.
Dude, I was worried. I thought is he the brother of Jet Porkins?
He could be.
That's where my brain went. You can see it in the reaction
Porkins
video.
is going to find his body
Porkins?
on Yavin 4.
Porkins. Oh my god. Yeah. Also the Yavin 4 reveal. I was like, my first thought in the very first episode or second episode when he lands down there, I'm like, why this Yavin coded if it no Yavin? And then those last moments flying away, I was like,
that's what was really funny to me too, because when we were watching it in the at the convention, I was next to Sean Room, and so when Cassian flies in, Sean's like, it's Yavin, and then we're like, ooh, and then as it sort of like went on, we we're like, oh, maybe not, maybe not,
maybe it's just we're in some jungle.
Yeah. So then when I finally got to episode 2, I was like, Sean was right. So
Hey, it makes sense though. I love that they put Yavin in here and they put these beasties in there
yeah,
just to show how remote it was and also why it may slide under someone's radar that maybe somebody built a base in these ruins and
yep,
on this planet where something's going to eat you.
for sure.
It's
It's
unfriendly.
it's very funny, like all these little things, um, like the reverse engineering of the world, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we have Yavin base. I'm like, well, who found Yavin base? Like
Yeah.
to give Cassian that little piece of that is very funny.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, then let's see what else. Cassian, of course, gets away. Good for
Mhm.
him. Who knows what happens to the Maya pay brigade? Um, and then we have the Mina Rao, I think something like that.
Yeah.
The storyline of that planet, where we have Wilma and Bix and
You think that guy
Brasso.
sold them out?
I'm fairly certain he didn't.
I'm fairly certain he didn't either.
Yeah, because I think that's the
But
point of
Brasso seemed to think, or at least he seemed to articulate that he thought so.
yeah. I think again, the way I took that was it was
It was his attempt to like save that
the
guy.
cover. Just providing
Yeah.
cover. Like so I think because again, Brasso, the homie he is, in the
Yeah.
shit, screwed himself, still tries to protect others. So I think
Yeah.
that's what I took it as because that guy I think came across really genuinely and
He
I think it
did
would
to
probably
me
be really
too.
cheap. It would feel like kind of cheap to just do like a betrayal beat for the
Yeah.
hell of it.
And I
Yeah.
didn't see any other indication that it would have been, but when he said that I was like, "Oh, don't tell me you believe it."
Yeah. And because he knows B's staying there and he was with that chick too. So I think he
Yeah.
wanted to like provide them cover, which I think worked because then the Imperial guy was like, "Oh, you're lucky we were here to deal with this guy for you," like showing that he didn't rat him out.
Yeah.
So like I think Brasso sort of like gave him sort of deniability
Yeah.
by accusing him like that, and then they share that look where they kind of smile at each other, like so. I think that was the point. I think people were genuinely pretty good, and except that one guy who sucked a lot.
But I'll be
Um,
honest with you, you're gonna be that guy, you're gonna get your fucking head bashed in, my dude.
yeah, yeah. And there's of course a lot of discussion
I won't
about
shed a tear.
what happened in that with that storyline with Bix with the asshole rapist dude. And I'm sure people have a lot of valid and takes on it. I'm not here to say anything either way. Um, I think Tony Gilroy and Adria Arjona feel pretty like comfortable with what they did and
Yeah.
like happy with it. So whether I think there's a I've seen people who are like maybe they should have put a trigger warning.
I agree with that comment.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree. Yeah.
I can see that too, especially because they did it in Obi-Wan with the
Yeah.
kids. And it's like
Yeah.
so I think it's sort of that thing where it's like, okay, we can do something that is uncomfortable and I don't know what the right word is, like not um like not like it is kid unfriendly, but it's like
Yeah.
it's not something you would expect for Star Wars, like and it's pretty raw, so it's like
Yeah.
we can do that, but maybe we should preface it as they did with
Yeah.
the Temple massacre in Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe is probably like the biggest um, mistake if there was one to be
Yeah.
had. But yeah, I mean it was just again I think the point stands of like it is something that um, is a really like sad and ugly side of power, right? Like and
Yeah.
and enforcing will upon people
And
and yeah.
it's so true that this is so ingrained in the history of mankind, in the history of beings, that this is something where someone in power can and will and still does take advantage of folks in that way
Mhm.
if they have a little bit of power.
Right.
Certainly, like, certainly it is not, it is a history that repeats itself throughout man's existence on this planet.
Mhm.
like they made a really good point. I think it was, I can't remember if it was Tony or if it was Adria, but made a really good point that people win battles, people win wars, and what do people go? They loot and they rape and they do all the. This is what the victors do. This is what the
Mhm.
people in power have done historically through the existence of. It's not this. This is human nature. Does that mean that it's a good thing? No. It's another way of Star Wars reflecting beings that exist in our world.
Mhm.
And while it was not something that was comfortable, um, if we can do child genocide, we can do sexual assault. I'll be honest with you. If we can do child massacres, what's like, where do we, like, if that's a line that we're comfortable with, we, like, what other things are
Yeah.
we what do we draw the line of this doesn't belong in my Star Wars? Because we've had a lot of really awful, horrible, horrendous, criminal behavior in Star Wars. And it's just another one. It's just another one.
Yeah. I think the thing I would like I thought about with it is it's really less about the content and idea of it, and I think
Yeah,
more just about the presentation
absolutely.
that I think makes it more of a bump for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, we do have child genocide, but
Not even the
a very
younglings
giant,
survived.
a very giant and unfortunate but to include in this sentence. But like,
Yeah,
but we do, it does handle it in a way that I think
differently.
is still palatable
Yeah,
for the franchise that spans a wide age.
for sure.
And I think that is the one thing that kind of does bump me about it with Andor. It's almost like it's like I really like because like I was celebrating when I was like, oh, this it feels like and this is what Andor's like when Andor finally watched Star Wars. Like so and then this sort of like pulled that back a little where it's like, okay, this is now another like othering
Mhm.
aspect.
Yeah,
Where it's like other Star Wars, I think you could have dealt with this issue in a way that does work more in line with something you would be able to communicate to a kid. I think that was possible.
hmm,
So it's like there were maybe like exit ramps
for sure.
that could have been taken, but they didn't. And so again, I think it works. It's good, story. Like again, the people who made it
Yeah.
are very feel very confident in it. So
Yeah.
there's
And
all
I
that.
do too. Because I think that I go back to the initial Star Wars television and movie project pitch is we are going to take Star Wars and we're going to tell all different kinds of Star Wars stories, you know? And we've had like Skeleton Crew, which is mainly our like kid focus, central, whatever. Andor, even last season too, it felt different. It felt more adult than, but just to me personally, everybody's allowed to take their own thing.
Yeah,
And also, like, as somebody who is myself a survivor of shit like that, do I think it deserved a trigger warning? Absolutely, 1000% yes. Um, but I also, I don't know, maybe it's because of my own personal experiences in that realm that I was like, yeah, fucking kill that guy.
oh yeah,
I was like, yeah, and I think that's maybe why I was maybe more numb to it than some other folks. Is that I've also, I've gone to therapy and it's been many years and I've done my own healing. And so I watched it and I just kind of went, murder his ass.
yeah. I mean, on the list
you
of
know? I'm like, yep, this is a Tuesday, kill him.
right on the ranked list of people who deserve to get got,
Get
this
him,
guy's
man.
high.
Get
They're very
him.
high.
Get him
Yeah,
thoroughly.
yeah, for
And
sure.
that was satisfying because there's so many situations. I'm not saying I've ever dreamed of inflicting violence on other people, but you're like, if there's somebody who deserves to get got, and then you picture that guy, you're like, get him, girl.
Yeah,
Get him.
for sure. Um, so yeah, I think
Yeah,
to whatever degree that's all gonna get discussed later. Hopefully
it
not by the
will.
same people who propagate a scandal about eggs, but um, hopefully more serious ideas are are
Yeah.
discussed. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was sort of like a one of the big things that happened here, and it'll be
Get
interesting
him,
to see
girl.
exactly, and it'll be interesting to see where um, Bix goes because
Yeah.
I think Gilroy talked about sort of like a moment of clarity sort of coming through things, and so yeah, I'm really excited to see what Bix does, and
Hmm.
I want to see her kick some ass.
And
And
she's so broken right now.
right.
So haunted and so broken. And
That's why I'm
I hope
praying.
that this is, and I think that this is also another moment that I think will contribute to her stepping into her power and out of feeling like she has no control over what happened to her. Because she did have, she had control in this situation. She took the control back and she fucking won.
Mhm.
And I hope that this is the first step on her own personal journey of reclaiming her power through this season. And obviously it was an awful, terrible, horrendous thing. And that being said, she stepped into her own and she reclaimed and took her pain from the previous season and the torture and the torment that the Empire's brought upon her and got him. She fucking got it. Franklin the
Yeah,
turtle looking ass.
and I think it was really telling in how they start her story with Gorst literally showing up in her nightmares.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly right.
so it's
Also, when
like
he showed up in the mirror, I jumped too.
again on the list of people who need to get got
Get got,
and
man.
badly.
Please.
Homie is
I
riding
hope
high.
because he shows up in episode 1, I hope that she can contribute to him getting got.
Oh, they've got to get him.
Come
Like
on.
it can't be left unsaid. Like they have to get him.
Get him.
Yeah, and it's got to be it's got to be heinous. Like
Get him.
they've got to like leave that tape on him
Mm.
for days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but anyway,
Mm.
yeah, and then we have Will also part of this, getting on with some farm girl,
Yeah,
causing
dude.
problems for everybody because of it. Probably
She's
possibly
not worth
you
it.
could maybe say got Brasso killed
I could.
for some mid farm girl.
I could. And I like her and they seem to be smitten with each other, but we got more important things, child.
You got Brasso killed.
You got Brasso killed,
Yeah,
you little bitch.
live with that.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's gonna be interesting. I don't see. I think that's the other thing. Like connected with Bix, I was like, I don't see anyone else surviving. I really want her to live,
I want her to live too.
and I
See?
want her.
Us too.
There we go. Exactly. I really want her to go through. I really want her to, um, like I remember when there were rumors about, sort of who these characters were, and one of the rumors was that Adria was playing Cassian's sister,
Yeah.
and I remember that, and I remember thinking, oh, that'd be so awesome if she like makes it through, and we have an Andor still in the galaxy, like
Oh.
like working with the rebels, possibly, like her and B, flying around
Oh.
for the rebels like Omega, it's like that'd be really
Yes.
nice, and we obviously know she's not his sister, but it's like
Yeah.
um
And we know
I
that there's vague undertones of romance between Cassian and
for
Jin.
sure for
So
sure
the romance routes, I don't know, maybe for now, but if it is for now, I don't think she's making it through the season, which I'm like, don't kiss him. Stay
right,
away.
right. Yeah,
We
but
don't need that.
oh man, until the time comes,
Yeah.
we will ride hard for Bix lives, no
We
question mark,
stan.
exclamation mark on the shirt. Bix
Yes.
lives. So that's what I hope for her, and yeah, so I think with everybody going, it's like Cassian lost Marva, Brasso, all these people. It's like you can't lose Bix.
No.
Please
I think
don't.
you will.
You probably will.
Just taking the whole you're not the only one who's lost everything
Right,
of Rogue
and
One of it.
just in how dark of a place he starts there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
I
gonna
don't
be
feel good about it.
like Tony's perhaps not that sentimental, but
I don't think he is. I
we
love him, but
we
no.
shall see. I loved his like flex in the articles today when he was like, "Yeah, I wasn't gonna put Darth Vader in. He's kind of limiting." And then he's like,
I love
and then
that.
he's like, the funny part is he's like, "Believe me, I've done it. Like I've done it before. Didn't love it." So
Like, what do you write for that
yeah,
guy?
that was just funny. But yeah, of course we have them escape in the TIE Avenger off to who knows where, and I'm trying to think what else is worth one big thing. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Eli.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, there's
I'm not
again.
prepared. I don't know if that's the word I'd use. I don't think I'll ever be prepared, but
This is the
hoping
thing
for the
too,
best, expecting the worst.
where it's like where I don't want Andor to bump up against what I feel like Star Wars needs to be, and I feel like this does have to have hope in it.
Yeah.
Like it does. Like, and I think if you just if you just kill the whole cast,
Yeah.
like I don't know if that's achieved. And so I will believe for myself, someone's gonna make it.
Yeah.
And obviously we know Cassian's deal, but um,
But that movie's filled with literal CGI Leia hope, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
a nice big stamp at the end
Yeah.
of hope.
In case you missed it.
And also if you didn't know, rebellions are built on it. So
Yeah.
um, so yeah, it's yeah, I totally understand the feeling that nobody will make it out, but I'm going to believe in the hope that somebody will.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think that more or less kind of, I don't know, unless you can think of something else. I feel like that's kind of the big chunks of the
It's the
three
big
episodes.
chunks. We I don't know what else there is to say on the Daedra Serial stuff other than he needs a big strong woman with a backbone to be his spine. He's got
Mm,
no spine, so she'll be the spine and the cojones for both of them.
yeah. Oh,
But other than that, I don't know.
speaking of
And Uncle
her,
Harlow's a criminal.
oh yeah, screw Uncle Harlow.
Hilarious.
While we have her on mind, the Gorman plot line
Oh,
deserves mentioning.
also.
Very uncomfortable discussion happening at Camp Krennic.
A lot of them.
And I was curious if you had this feeling, um, because it struck me like immediately. And because I think in the panel, Denise Goff was like, we find out where she came from. And then watching Dedra sort of respond to all that shit, I was like, is she Gorman?
That
Like,
would be
is she from
so
there?
interesting
And is that like part of her hesitancy to take on
to
this
take the
job?
mission. That's interesting.
Yeah, because like she had this feeling of like not sitting right with her.
Yeah.
And also there's like a shot in a trailer where she's like grasping at her collar, like in panic.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, and by the way, we may destabilize the whole planet. It's like all that stuff. It just like
Check the name
yeah.
of this episode.
Yeah. Mm. It really did.
Not another one.
It really did. And again, I don't know if that's like where they're going, but something really struck me about how like particular she was in hearing all that information.
Yeah.
And I think, and it like to me, it just felt like more than just like I want to hunt Axis.
Yeah.
But that I guess will be revealed in good time. And yeah, Ben Mendelsohn, that guy's back.
He's back, man.
He's
Krennic is Krennic.
Saucier.
He is very saucy.
Or as Ben said, fruitier.
Fruitier.
He's like, I think they're all a little fruitier. And so yeah, it was such a joy to see him, and I love their scene by the window.
So good. He's like, cut the shit. I see through you. You've got an idea. Just say it.
Even him with the like creepy ass Ministry of Enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
When they're all just like going off, he's like, "Yeah, we get the idea. We get." It's like I think we get it.
Oh my! But seriously, like the amount, and also that scene was so beautifully done. That little part of the episodes, because when they started the little like Nickelodeon hollow music for the Gorman, look at the Gorman way of life, kind of.
Right.
It did exactly what it needed to do, which is immediately put a pit in my stomach.
Yeah.
I immediately got nauseous. And then there's fucking spiders. I'm not here for genocide of anybody, but why they gotta be spider people?
Just Claire, you heard it here first. Clare of the Imperial Senate says, just get rid of the spiders.
Just kill the
Like, I can get
spider.
my silk elsewhere, please and thank you.
Please.
Which also makes me really excited for one of the first shots we ever saw of this season of Cassian looking so dope, like dripped out. And I was like, oh, that's Gorman.
He's in his fancy
He's wearing the
pants.
Gorman goods.
Yeah.
And so like being able to connect those things was really cool because I think it's a high in the High Republic. Eli's in the chat. Eli will know.
Eli.
In the High Republic, I think they mentioned Gorman being this like textile, like sort of hub, and like this where you go for the good stuff. So it's like that alone is also now.
It's a history, connecting. A long history of being known for the good stuff.
And which fits into Partagas being like, this isn't some nobody planet. Like we're gonna, like, they have influence, they have power, like they have, like, this is not gonna be easy. And so, yeah, we're gonna see some bad stuff, I think. Yeah. I don't like it. I mean, I like it. I like watching it, but I don't like knowing it.
I don't like the feeling of knowing that I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah. Anywho, I don't know what else there is to say. So that, I guess, is our first general discussion of Andor Arc 1, Andor Season 2. The discussions will continue amongst us, amongst the people online, amongst you and your friends. So make them good. There we go. Convergence. There we go, baby. Come on. So yeah.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to where this goes. It's gonna be something. I guess we'll close out with. We'll close out with two things. We'll end with Moisture Farm, but I do want to ask you now. Next weekend, it's May the 4th weekend.
Dude, yeah.
Going nuts? Going to do anything crazy?
That's so funny because I have my Star Wars stuff. Well, I'll hold off on it. But like I don't have anything planned for the actual May the 4th weekend other than watching Tales of the Underwears.
You're gonna watch that. Good.
Yeah,
you don't give that a good watching.
But I got tickets today to Star Wars night at the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, there we go. Which is
later this month, not May the 4th weekend, but
that'll be fun.
It will be fun.
I wanted to go see the
Correa,
Chiba,
but I'm getting a bobblehead of him as a Jedi, so I'll still take it.
There we go. I wanted to go see the Chiba Marines and their Star Wars night before celebration, but didn't make it.
No. Damn.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I've talked before going to see the 3 movies at the Academy Museum.
Love.
Really excited about that. And yeah, hopefully everybody has a fun May the 4th. It's what it's all about. Go see Revenge of the Sith if you haven't already.
It was so good.
I'm probably gonna go tomorrow. I've been trying to figure out how to like go with my jet lag issue because I'm normally like sleeping in the day. So I'm like, okay, I will force myself to go tomorrow.
That'll help keep you awake at the right hours.
Yep. I'm gonna go to El Cap. See how it goes. Which, did you see the event they had? Oh my god.
Crazy.
Hayden and Sam Jackson.
Ridiculous.
I wish I got to go just so I could be like, I saw Hayden twice in a week in 2 separate countries.
In 2 separate on other sides of the literal planet.
Yeah, just no big deal. That was awesome. I'm so glad they. I was like,
Sam Jackson.
We need to celebrate him more.
We do.
Like, I was so pissed when they did the 20th Attack of the Clones panel, and the whole stage didn't go purple. And we didn't hear this party's over. And we didn't see Samuel L. Jackson walk out. I was so pissed. But I was glad to see him there at least.
Yeah.
We need more. So glad to see him and Hayden having a good time with the crowd. And what up, Chris?
Hi, buddy. Me too, buddy. Me too, buddies.
Yep. And that'll be good. But let's go ahead and visit the Moisture Farm to wrap this one up. You have something in mind?
I do.
Go for it.
I I've seen Revenge of the Sith 900 times, at least. That is like a you put it on when you're going to bed. You put it on when you're doing stuff. Like that is probably the most watched prequel film for me.
Mhm.
But I got to see it for the first time in 20 years on a big screen yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
I did. And I got to see Hayden Christensen make a little intro video
Oh, that's
about,
right. That's right.
and I was like, and in case anybody was worried, it's so good.
In case you didn't know, that's what
Uh,
I'm really excited for too. Because like
oh,
that and Clones, I've not seen in a theater since
yeah,
2002 and 2005. Like,
yeah. They don't show those again. Well, Phantom Menace, I felt the same way when Phantom Menace came out
right,
last year.
right.
I was literally like, I haven't seen that in forever.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, they don't get the like gratuitous screenings that like
Mm-mm.
original trilogy get.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so yeah, no, it's very nice to have this. And actually, that's something cool I got from Celebration. They handed out the anniversary poster, but it's like in Japanese. So
oh, that's
all it.
cool.
So that's a cool one of the cool giveaways. That and the animation poster really rock. Oh, what up, Josh?
Hi, buddy.
Coming in right at the end, classic Josh.
Right in time for the
Um,
moisture farm.
yeah, so my trip to the moisture farm, we're gonna throw it back to Mr. Ben Mendelsohn again because Ben Mendelsohn had one of the funniest like junket things
So
ever,
funny.
where somebody asked a stupid
He's such a
question.
nerd, man. He's one of us. He is one of us in every way.
Somebody asked him a dumb question about sets, trying to like do a gotcha and make him talk about how like lame other things are. And Ben Mendelsohn, full hand up, snapped this man away and said, "No, no, no, girlfriend, no." Like, he dropped a girlfriend on this guy, and told him he was wrong, and then said, "But I'm going to extract the meat and marrow from your questions so you don't go home empty-handed and full of shame." And I was just like, Ben, my
Ben.
guy. Again,
That's
the
the
era of the
energy that we
clapback,
need.
man.
That is the 2025 energy
Yep.
we needed.
The energy of no, you don't get to define this narrative for us.
Mm-mm.
Like we actually, funnily enough, we were there and we made it. Like, so it's like that was so delightful. I've watched that clip of him saying "no, no, girlfriend." Like I've watched that I don't know how many times.
He was spicy on the junket
Yeah, I
in
mean,
general.
he's like he's now seasoned. You know, he's like I'm one Star Wars, two Marvel, press towards deep.
Yeah.
Like
Try it. You're not
you
gonna
don't
get shit
you don't
from
get
me.
through me anymore. So good for Ben. I was a little bummed he wasn't part of the celebration panel, but I also feel bad for like I don't feel bad for them because they're like awesome actors, but like
Yeah.
it is I can only imagine taxing to be to be flown
Yes.
around the world in a week.
Yeah.
Like because I think they were in London, then they were in LA, they were in
Yeah.
Japan, like all within the time I was in Japan. So it's like, yeah,
Oh, it's so much, man.
they work hard. But
Also, honorable mention for Ben Mendelsohn, like red carpet / junket conversations. Also, him having to blind rank the Star Wars
oh,
characters
that
with
was good.
somebody. It's like, what do you mean? You're like, because they're gonna say Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
Because I have
that
Luke
was a good one.
Skywalker died.
A lot of those like little silly games have actually been kind of funny. Like
They've been
recently.
fun.
Like I saw Adria Arjona do it, and she put Leia on, and then like who was the other one? Pedro Pascal did it in Celebration, and somebody like, or it was either a ranking or like a this or that scenario. I think his might have been a this or that, and ultimately he came down to Grogu. And then the last one was Han Solo. Or he's like, "Where's Han Solo?" And then the last one was Han Solo. And he's like, "You don't get an answer. You just don't. You don't. I don't think that way. You don't get it." Grogu.
Also, Eli, yeah, Chris Swift sent me this, and yes, it was. Also,
Yeah.
it made me laugh. It's also a fun reminder of like, we're the only people who know this shit.
Yeah.
The normal human beings don't know this
Yeah.
shit. They're in a Star War and they don't know this shit.
Another funny
What do you
one.
mean you don't know it's Red 5?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Another one that cracked me up was the I don't remember who like the outlet was, but it was Adria and Diego, and they had this like sign that said "So true, bestie," and they're just like they had to like answer questions about each other, and like if it was right, they have to raise the "So true, bestie."
Hilarious.
And they're just very sweet together. Like it wasn't it wasn't particularly like laugh out loud funny, but like they're just nice to like see together. Yeah. So yeah, Junkets have somehow not been awful to witness.
Surprisingly, not the worst this time.
Yeah. But shout out to Ben. That sent me to the moisture farm. And actually one more.
You gotta.
One more. So Light and Magic season 2 came out.
I haven't watched it yet. How is it?
It's so cool. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw the panel for it, which was awesome. Ahmed Best was on it, and he was amazing. And they talked about how
they talked about Jar Jar and the Jar Jar.
They talked about Jar Jar, but not only did they talk about Jar Jar, they talked about how in episode 2, the fight with Yoda and Dooku in the script was just in the script it was Yoda and Count Dooku fight like duel in a way that is indescribable. That's all that's in the script. Right? And so
indescribable. Make it.
Yeah.
Go do it.
So that was it. George was basically to Rob Coleman. Figure it out.
You guys figure it out.
In classic George.
That's what I pay you for.
There's like footage of George like doing the thing where with the highlighters.
Highlighters, the best.
Like, real visual, digital, whatever, blah, blah, and just the glazed looks on like John Knowles' face.
Everybody's faces.
He's like,
they're just like,
yeah, that's so great.
You want me to do what?
But the Ahmed Best point, Ahmed Best found out about this thing in the script and was talking to Rob Coleman again at the time and was like, "What do you guys got to do?" And Rob Coleman was like, "I don't know, freaking know. Like, we'll figure it out, I guess." And Ahmed Best is like, "You come over to me, and we're gonna watch anime. We're gonna watch like Jet Li. Like, we're gonna watch all this like martial arts stuff." So Ahmed Best like filled the brain tank for Rob Coleman to have ideas, and he talked about how like there were things in the Yoda fight that were specific to what Ahmed Best showed him, and it was like, and he's like, you didn't have to do that, and like that was really sweet, like for you to like give me that time.
I'm here to give you the ideas, man.
Yeah, and like that was so touching, and again for a movie that really limited Jar Jar's role, like it's nice to know Ahmed really had like
and was still so invested
on the iconic scene of the film. Yeah, right. Like that was so cool. But what sent me to the moisture farm from Light and Magic, and this was a moisture farm of laughing tears, was the footage of Frank Oz in the rehearsal saying, "Only two there are." And then like, which one? He's like, "I have one more damn line, Chris." Can you give me a break? And just watching that from Yoda, that gave me all kinds of joy. So yeah, Light and Magic is out. Check it out, everybody. Wait. 3 episodes. It's shorter than the first one, I think, but
we're still happy it's
packs
there.
A punch, baby. That was a marathon episode, I feel. Especially because
we had a lot. I mean, Celebration and 3 episodes of Andor to talk about. Like, we had a lot.
Really, really did.
And
yeah, we did it live because that is just a faster way to get it out. I think the worst thing I know I would have as a as a fan is listening to something that is like past relevancy.
Right.
So we decided to do live so that we could get it out and it's
right
done
away
before the next arc comes out. Mm-hmm. So we'll try to keep that up. I know because next weekend is a little saucy, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. But we'll try to always get these Andor things out before the next one, so that the conversation is still valid, or whatever. But anyway, that was a good time. Thanks everybody for joining. Thank you, Claire, for joining.
Always a pleasure. Do a live show with Nicky. Get to chat on video and talk about Andor. if I must, I guess.
The things we just force each other to do.
Right.
It's heinous.
Ugh.
But any fun place you can point the fine people towards to find out what you got going on?
Yeah. I'll point you first to the Imperial Senate Podcast YouTube channel where you can watch my reactions to every new episode of Andor. The goal is to get them out Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, but I've had some issues with this final video, so it will be out this weekend.
Fun story also. If you're watching this right now, you've already found the YouTube channel.
That's a really good point that I did not think about. Or our Twitch. If you're on the Twitch, that's a possibility too.
There
but
okay.
I'm just saying, subscribe.
You're so close. You're so close.
Either one of these places you're watching, just subscribe to it. That's what you need to do, and then go on over to the reaction videos because I had some for these episodes. Yeah. Oh boy, did I have some!
Just a few.
Which was pretty good. And then, of course, you can always catch me on Broaxium tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So same time we were supposed to start this stream. That was my fault, guys. I'm sorry, but 9 p.m. every Sunday night for Shooting the Poodoo. We're covering Andor, we're covering The Last of Us, we're covering all of the good stuff that's coming out right now. Great times. And then on Thursday nights, because come on, Tuesday night is for Andor. While Andor's going on, we had to switch our BX gaming night to Thursday because come on, we all want to be watching Andor on Tuesday night. I don't want to have to make you guys have to choose between us. Okay, so we're playing our new game on BX gaming. We started Uncharted, the classic from 2007.
There we go.
Love.
Bum, bum, love. Bum, bum, bum,
yes. Dude, and it was funny because we started it. We finished Metal Gear Solid and then we started it in the last hour of BX Gaming. And I started playing. I was like, oh shit, I forgot how much I love this damn game.
Yep.
It's so good. But yeah, anyway, just follow everything that I do at C-Stribs and follow what we do here as well. How about you, buddy?
Yeah, you can stay tuned to the show's socials, and then I'm on that IG live.
Ooh.
I forgot what my name is. Oh, I think I'm Nick Defer.
You're Nick Defer.
There you go, Nick Defer on Instagram.
Jet lag's so bad you don't even know your name anymore.
Who even knows? Someone's got to remember.
Yeah.
But then Instagram, then Blue Sky. I'm on there every now and again. But otherwise, I got a Yubn Up Club on the show feeds. Planning to bring that back for the summer, especially to dig into more specifically some of those celebration topics and announcements with some folks who were there with us. So we'll see how that goes, and you can keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, we will hopefully catch you on the next live, if nowhere else. And we got another arc of Andor to discuss and Tales of the Underwear very soon. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm very excited to know how much Clare cries at the beginning of Tales.
I should do reactions for that too, shouldn't I? At the very least, put the full reaction on Patreon so you can see literally how many tears are produced. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot. Yeah. It's Ventress.
Yeah.
And if you do a Ventress, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful intro to a Ventress story, I mean.
Oh, man. You're not ready. I wasn't ready. You're not ready.
I'll never be ready, dude. I'll never be ready.
Oh, man. It's beautiful. It's so good. Anyway. That was a live episode.
Woo!
Not another mining incident. The Andor, or not another Imperial mining disaster. I'm sorry. Vader's gonna have my head for that one. But we'll catch everyone next time. Looking forward to the next arc and seeing you all again. So until then, peace out. Peace and love. Sigruna Tima. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.